Is Gen Z cooked? Let's walk and have a talk about it, my friends. Before I get started, I guess it's worth noting that I am indeed Gen Z, unfortunately. I'm 27 years old, and I guess that puts me on the older side of the generation. I'm sure that every generation, every person that's grown up for the most part in whatever generation probably has that feeling of like resentment and like, oh, I wish I grew up in another generation. And sometimes I think some of the problems that we talk about for our generation are not just exclusive to us, and that other generations have struggled with this stuff before. My concern, like my cause for concern in terms of Gen Z and the future generations, is the problems that I think are more unique to us. And where I wanted to start this conversation was one that it hurts me that this word is used for what it's used now, and the word is gooning. I grew up playing ice hockey. I've played ice hockey my whole life. I'm a hockey fan. And for us, our terminology, a goon is like an enforcer and a tough guy, tough hockey player. And now gooning has just taken on a complete different meaning. And, you know, for anyone that doesn't know, it basically means someone that's just freaking locked up in their house all day and just watching porn and just sexually addicted and just for hours and hours on end, just living in that reality. And I wanted to find the right time to talk about this issue, and I've briefly mentioned porn and porn addiction on the channel before. And I wanted to find the right time to talk about it because it's something that's personal to me. I struggled with it in the past, and it's a very powerful addiction in a bad way. And it's sad seeing how many people are struggling with it. And I got a lot of friends that, they don't care. They're happily living in that reality of just of that behavior. And I something that does it's something that worries me about our future, our collective future, is that there's really not a lot of people that are trying to get better from it. Now, it doesn't mean it's everybody. I think there are more people that are waking up to the problems of sexual addiction and porn and gooning. And I commend you if you're one of those people. And I would say that whether you're single or in a relationship, now is the time to get better from that. Now is the time to stop watching that crap, get away from it. It is destroying you, it's destroying your soul. It can destroy your relationship, it can destroy future relationships. Kick it today, now. Now, how can you do it? I think probably the best bit of advice that I can give you is try to stay away from social media. Try to get off the phone as much as you can. And the reason that I say this is because honestly, I kind of look at social media and technology as almost being a gateway to that crap. And if you've been on social media long enough, you probably know what I'm talking about. That basically all of these platforms don't care what you see, and they'll throw things at you that can take you down rabbit holes that end up taking you to another website that is going to get you to engage in that behavior. And this exists on just about any social media platform that you can imagine. And it's something that obviously is predominantly a guy problem, it's a male problem, but there's, I think, a lot more females than they would like to admit that are also struggling with this too. This is not just a unique problem for guys. And it's sad. It's sad that this is where we're at. And you couple that with the fact that dating is in a bit of a weird place. I'm glad that I'm not on the dating scene anymore. I'm very grateful I have a fiance now, and because dating today, oh my god, what people have to go through, I am so sorry for my generation, the younger generations. I think there is definitely a lot of wrong with the dating scene. You just had the whole thing with the T app. I don't know like exactly what happened with that, but from my understanding, it's just dating's in a weird place right now. And again, a lot of the problems that I think we have, and if gonna say that we're cooked, it's because technology is to blame for a lot of what's wrong right now. And that's why I say, like, if you want to be a part of, like, I'm not all doom and gloom. I think there's possibility for change. I think we can be better. If you want to be a part of the change, you want to be a better person, put the phone down. Get away from the social media, get away from the technology, because there's a lot going on in these places that is not good. I mean, you look at what's going on with AI and just the chaos with it, what it's doing to people, the fact that people don't even know anymore what they're reading. They don't even know. I get comments on this YouTube channel where I'm like, "Are you just AI?" Like, I all the time, and it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's like, how I always wonder. I'm like, what ramifications is this gonna, all of it, like, what ramifications are all of these things that are going on in this day and age going to have on young people today for future generations? Where do we end up, right? And I mean, a lot more than ever, people are depressed and anxious, and the mental health and all that. And you know, you think, I mean, this is just my opinion, but you look at the way a lot of Gen Z is living, the way the younger generations are living, and just being perpetually on the internet and being exposed to all kinds of crap on the internet all the time. Like, even if you're constantly on social media, you're being bombarded with all kinds of stuff. Like, politics, and politics is crazier than it's ever been, and it's just the chaos with that. And then you look at, okay, maybe people that you're following in your personal life, or maybe kind of different types of influencers that are living lives that, of glamour and this and that. And whether it's somebody that you know personally or not, everybody is putting on a face on the internet. Everybody, to an extent, in a lot of ways, is being fake. Right? I mean, that's what you're exposed to most of the time. Not all of the time. Sometimes you get the actual person and you're not really seeing them through a filter, but there's a reason that those filters exist, is because a lot of people are using them, and a lot of people are trying to make their life seem picture perfect. And then when that's all that you're seeing, sometimes that can have an impact on you, and you're looking at that and you're like, oh man, like, I don't know. I feel like my life isn't as good, and I feel like I don't know, like, I got to be like this person, and it lowers your self-worth, and then it gets in your head, and then, depression and anxiety, and all of that. Right? And I really do think that the internet has a huge impact on everything right now, and not in a good way. And I feel like if we keep going in this direction where, you know, we're we don't try to improve, and we don't try to get away from the technology a little bit. Obviously, look, we're here. That there's really, unfortunately, there's no closing this can of worms. We're the internet exists. We are online. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, just completely disconnect and get away. If you want to, go ahead. I mean, that's fine too. If you watch this video and you're like, you know what, I'm going to take, oh my God, that freaking car. Sir, I'm gonna have to take your insurance. Anyway, all kidding aside, if you watch this video and you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna just completely disconnect for a little while. I'm gonna get off the internet. I'm gonna get away from everything. By all means, go ahead. Live in the real world. Be present. Get away from this. Get away from the social media platforms. Get away from YouTube. Get away from Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, this, that, TikTok, whatever you're on. Just disconnect a little bit, because we're just constantly being bombarded with stuff, constantly being programmed in ways that I don't think are necessarily good. And again, this is where, when I say, we're debating, are we cooked? If we keep going this way, if we keep just being perpetually on the internet, and we don't kind of learn to balance, we don't learn how to balance our real life with our online lives, then I worry. I do worry about where we're headed. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. Like I said, I think there's plenty of people that are starting to wake up to this stuff, and that's a good thing. But if more of us don't start waking up, then yeah, I mean, there's probably going to be more problems down the line. And now you got to also think of the fact that all these people, all this generation, Gen Z, is now raising kids, raising families. And I mean, what the heck is going to happen to them? How are they going to be feeling? What are they going to be experiencing? What's going to be going on in their heads? What are they going to, like, I don't know. right? I mean, we got like a complete lack of communication skills in this day and age. I mean, people really don't know in large part how to speak to one another. And why? The internet. And you're just perpetually online when everything that you do is just online. When it's just, you order everything with an app. You order, food, drinks, uh, whatever you need. You could stream. You don't gotta go to the movies anymore. You don't gotta buy a movie ticket. Just watch. Everything's streaming. Everything's the same. Every platform is the same. Every video game is the same. Everything is the same. You're just locked inside and you're just living in this online world. And then when you do have to go outside and you do have to interact with people, you're like a deer in headlights. And I, I mean, look, is it all because of the internet? Have there been people that struggle with communication throughout generations? Yeah, of course. I mean, awkwardness happens and there's ways to get over it. There's things you can do, but I think more than ever people are struggling with this because again, they're on the internet all the time. And I've seen it. I've seen it with young people that just they're on their phone. They're walking around. I mean, this guy's got his phone. He's actually talking on it, but there's people, you guys know what I'm talking about, and they got their freaking head just buried in their phone. And they're just completely disconnected from reality, and they're completely disconnected from the present moment. They're in a completely different world, and it's like there's zombies walking around. There's zombies everywhere you look. It's just zombies. What what's end game with that? Where are we headed with that? I don't know. You tell me. I mean, I hope more people start to realize that yes, has technology given us a lot? Has technology helped us? Has it made a lot of things easier? Has it made life easier in a lot of ways? Sure, absolutely. But in a lot of ways, it's kind of dumbed us down. It's disconnected us from the present moment. It's disconnected us from reality. It's disconnected us from one another. Even though we think we're all connected because phones to social media and we're connected to everybody. I don't know. How connected are we? If you can't talk to somebody in real life, if you struggle with that, I mean, yeah, they're introverts. Okay, people say introverted, fine, but is it really all just introverted people? I don't know. I mean, you want to have a debate about that? We could debate, of course, but you know, beyond that, I think we also kind of live in an exaggeration generation. And if you want to say that about me, where I'm like we're cooked, you could throw me in that basket. I'm okay. I don't take offense to it, but we definitely suffer from it. We exaggerate a lot, and the internet kind of allows us to do that, and it rewards that. That's the thing. Like, look, I'm gonna title this video something along the lines of "We're cooked," right? But I'm not. I think I give some pretty reasoned opinions on what I talk about. At least in context of this video too. Like, I don't think my views are that out there and ridiculous, but for a lot of people that create stuff in this day and age, I mean, there's a lot of exaggeration because you get rewarded, and there's that dopamine, that chase of, again, putting stuff online. Like, oh, how outlandish can I be today? What ridiculous thing can I post today? Or ridiculous thought or whatever, video or anything. People lie, make stuff up. Like, there's people that stage like animal rescues on YouTube, on TikTok. Like, they stage them. They stage because, well, why? I mean, it gets you clicks, bro. It gets you attention. It gets you that fucking dopamine. That we're just dopamine generation. Forget exaggeration generation. I mean, we're a dopamine generation more than anything, probably. And again, it's all stemming back to that technology, man. That technology. And if you're someone that, again, you're trying to get better, you're trying to be more present minded, you're trying to, live a better life, a more present life, and actually be different. Pay attention to what you're doing on your phone. Pay attention to what you're engaging with on your phone. Pay attention to what you're seeing, what you're listening to, what you're being exposed to constantly. A lot of us aren't paying attention. And I am someone. This guy just said, "Let me take a walk with you, bro." All right, you got any input, bro? Okay, I guess not. He looks pretty busy. He's a busy guy. He's, important business call there. Sorry, excuse me, sir. Sorry. Anyway, pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to what you're being exposed to. because again, a lot of it is often subliminal. A lot of it is often undetected by people. We're just constantly consuming stuff, and we're not really understanding what the heck is going on in our heads while we consume this stuff. And I think if you become at least become a little more aware, it can become easier to start to fix and heal from a lot of these issues, right? As obviously took you guys in some different directions in terms of the problems that I talked about, but I really attribute a lot of it just to the phones, to the technology, to the computers. You don't have to completely disconnect if you don't want to, but pay more attention. Absolutely pay more attention. And I hope this helps. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon.